if your local outdoor stores are anything like the ones in my area, you may realize that there is a small section in the blade section that may have Smith & Wesson branded blades in it. And it's usually in the budget section of the blade and knife section and all that good stuff. I've had them over the years, and it's usually, you know, made in China stuff. Some of their blades are decent, some of their blades are not so decent. And I figured, you know what, it might be good to throw a few Smith & Wesson branded knife reviews out there just because people buy them, including me. And they do make some pretty good stuff as far as the price is concerned. So this is a Tanto folder from Smith & Wesson. This is their 24/7 Tanto. There's a couple different 24/7 designs. This is one of them. I chose this one off of Amazon because it looks pretty basic, pretty clean. And I kind of dig that when it comes to some of the folding knives out there. This one is on the Smith & Wesson site. The price is $27.99, and you can typically find them for a little bit cheaper, it seems like, on Amazon, depending on which store you're going to there. But look at less than $30 for sure on this knife. So for that price, is it pretty decent? Yeah, it is. It is. It's not perfect, but considering the price, I think it's a good deal, and we'll kind of go into that here. So just some specs. 33.5-inch blade. Overall length is 12 inches when deployed. It's 0.18 pounds. The blade material is the 8CR13 stainless steel. Handle material is G10, and it is a flipper tip up. I'll show that right here. So the clip here does not reverse or anything. That's one of the negatives on this. There's a lot of knives out there that are under the $30 price point that you'll have reversible clips. So if you don't like tip-up carry and you want to reverse it, this might not be the EDC blade for you. So just know that there's really no provision to move that around. So that's kind of a negative. The G10 and the texturing is definitely a positive. I really dig that. The feel in my hand is pretty big. It still feels pretty good. It does have a little lanyard hole for those that care. If you want to run a little lanyard in it, it is a liner lock. And I'll just deploy it right there. It's a solid lock. One thing about this liner lock, though, if you flip it too hard, it's going to move over too much, and it takes a little bit of pressure to release it. I think it's just the specs on here. I don't expect the consistency between each one to be ultra tight tolerances. So you may have one like mine that tends to overlock, I guess, if that's a term you want to use, a little bit on the liner lock, and some of them may lock perfectly. You can tune that a little bit by tightening your fastener right here to get a little bit more friction in the blade. So it's up to you, but keep in mind this is a less than $30 blade, so I don't expect perfection. So again, the material is really good, feels good in hand, and I can grab onto it pretty good, non-slip. Tanto blade, people that are in the tactical community really like this. What are the uses of this? I don't know. It's for an EDC blade, so you do have some self-defense uses with this for sure. This will still work good for popping open boxes and all that good stuff. The blade is pretty sharp, and it looks like it's uniformly sharp as well. I don't feel any dull spots. Sometimes on cheap blades, I'll feel a dull spot. I don't know if that's just me, but I just noticed that. The overall design, I think, is pretty slick, and for less than $30, yeah, I'd say it as a recommend. If anything, it's a good gift for Christmas. Christmas is going to be coming up here in a few months, so that might be a good idea. Birthday, all that good stuff. As far as the carry, it carries pretty good for the safety of the knife, and what I mean by that is, does this stay closed? I think it does. The flipper, I don't foresee the flipper getting caught on anything. It'll take a little bit of tension to get it to, there we go, deploy the blade. So I don't think you'll come into a situation, based off of this one knife, I don't think you'll come into a situation where, you know, being tip-up carry, the blade's going to be up like this. You're going to reach in and end up cutting yourself. Granted, look at the knife that you get, because I did adjust the friction just a little bit. That was me because I was playing around with the action on this. You see how it barely opens? I have to kind of flick it. I did that on purpose because when it was just a tad bit looser, every time I flicked it, like I said, this would overlock. It would move too far over. And I'll see if I can't try and demonstrate that here. There. You can see how it moved over. See how it's a little bit too far over right there. And it takes a little bit of pressure right there to put it back. So I kind of messed with it. The tension, I messed with the tension a little bit, give it a little bit more friction. So it works for me. But overall, the design, I dig the design. It looks sharp. I buy sharps, I buy knives because I like how they look a lot of the time. I'm not just a pure utilitarian type person, and I think that's okay. We should be able to buy stuff based on looks. And I like the looks of this. It looks really cool. With the black G10 handle, the texturing and whatnot in the Tanto blade, it looks like for a cool little package. So it does have pretty deep pocket carry. Not a whole lot is exposed on the top here, and it's a pretty substantial clip. So I don't think you're going to have any issues there. As far as, again, I kind of wish that it had a reversible, or at least so that way you can choose tip up or tip down or anything like that. So if you're looking for something with a little bit more versatility as far as the carry choice, then go towards something else, not necessarily this one. But if you don't mind just a basic knife that works good, has some cool looks to it, and doesn't cost a lot, then this is definitely a choice. Just kind of shop around on Amazon, because depending on the Amazon store that you go to, you're going to see varying prices and whatnot. So, all right, thanks a lot for watching as always. Stay safe.